Do you remember not long ago, QAnon cultists were traveling down to Dallas to see JFK Jr.? They're still there. We haven't been talking about it in the interim, not every day anyway, but they are still there. They've apparently set up their own little micro Q culture in that area. And the thing is, you can sustain crazy with things like, hey, JFK will be here soon, or maybe Robin Williams will show up for a little bit, but you have to add in new elements to keep people interested, and they have in fact done that. So we're gonna tell you about some of their new little traditions that this group has taken up. But you should understand that they are going to Dallas because of this guy, Michael Protzman, who once ran a Washington-based demolition company and has now built an impressive following trafficking conspiracy theories on his Telegram channel, -48, I guess, or whatever. He's a random guy. Like, he's not even Q. Why do they care about what he says? It was weird enough that they thought Q, who was just a random guy, had secret information about the US government. So then a couple years go by, people on Telegram like analyze what Q is saying. And then once Q goes away, you just keep listening to those randos. They don't have any extra information. He's not even claiming to have information from inside of the US government. But anyway, they are still there following him. And he has attempted to tie their belief system into updates in the news. So here's an example of that. In recent weeks, he and his followers have claimed that President Joe Biden and former Vice President Mike Pence have been dead for years. I don't know, I guess just all vice presidents are dead, I don't know. In one Telegram post, he also promoted a conspiracy theory that Biden had orchestrated a fatal car ramming at a holiday parade in Wisconsin. As the Dallas Observer points out, he did that despite the fact that he has been dead for years. So I guess somebody orchestrated it. Why? I don't know. Did it help the Biden administration? The right wing lost their mind about it. It helped them feel closer to each other. Why would Biden do this? They don't explain. Why would a dead man do this? How would a dead man do this? They don't explain that either. But a little bit of explanation perhaps comes when you see him. When you have a guy, I understand he's just holding up an award in this, but like, there's something about like an acrylic pyramid being held above someone's head that just really fits his role as cult leader. But all of that is bad. Misinformation generally is bad, and it being fed to people who have already shown an incredible level of gullibility is bad too. It gets worse once he invokes some other elements of cults, and they have done that. They now have a new thing that they're drinking. What is it? It's poison. So chlorine dioxide, which is similar to bleach, is dangerous to ingest in large quantities, and they have been doing just that. Now, in very limited quantities can be used to disinfect water. It can be used to clean things, kind of like bleach when it's diluted. Obviously, in large quantities at a high concentration, it would be very bad for you to consume that. Family members of a Delaware woman who left her husband and child to go there to be a part of their little group confirmed that she's drinking this chemical mixture containing chlorine dioxide from a communal bowl. And the author of the book, The Storm is Upon Us, Mike Rothschild, which is about the QAnon movement, says this feels like a progression. It immediately evokes images of Jonestown and Heaven's Gate. Because of course it does. When you have a group of people who all believe the exact same thing, congregating around a communal bowl and drinking poison, that is worrying, and it should be. And they're doing it for this guy who he ran a demolition company, and then he got really excited about a conspiracy theory. That's it. He has no conduit to God or the creator, or as far as I know, even Ron Watkins, who apparently was the Q guy. He certainly has no secret information about the government. So the idea that you would give up your life, that you would give up your job, even just to travel to be with this guy is maddening. And I can't even imagine what the family and friends of this woman are going through. But then the idea that they're now drinking poison together, it just seems like kind of the way that this had to go.
That I'm here as the Queen and Commander-in-Chief to observe, to make sure whatever process is being done, it's done fairly. And whoever is arrested by the citizens is given respect, dignity, and honor.
Yeah, very good.
So that's it.
Very good. And I'm here to make sure it goes over peacefully.
Correct, yes. And I have sent a message to the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces 2 days ago. I sent a message to the U.S. Commander-in-Chief 2 days ago, letting him know that I'm here and that I'll be here.
Right.
And that I requested for a backup to make sure
Thank you.
this process goes peacefully
Thank you so much.
for the region.
So that is Romana Didulo, the commander-in-chief of Canadian QAnon, I guess. An alien, as we'll get into, someone who can personally communicate with Joe Biden to get backup, I guess. And this story is already wild, but it gets wilder. You saw her there talking in that video about how the citizens are going to put people under citizens arrest. Specifically, they're going to arrest a bunch of cops. So when a bunch of QAnoners decide that they're gonna go arrest the cops, how do you think that's gonna go? Well, if you're a member of the group, oh, it's gonna be great. Everything's coming up QE. But no, they ended up getting kind of manhandled by the cops. So the actual footage, which is out there, I found to be a little bit rough. Maybe we can play a little bit of that. Yeah, you'll see they continually say that they're gonna put them under arrest and then they get dragged down. The cops seem to have this thing about pulling their shirts off, which I found to be a little bit weird. But yeah, cops, whether in the US or in Canada, they don't be like when you give them a dirty look. When you try to place them under arrest, they're not going to play along with your little fantasies. But I wanna give you more information about this individual because she is a character. Romana Didulo has built a sizable following out of the QAnon community by convincing people that she's the true leader of Canada and is waging a secret war against the supposed pedophilic cabal, as Marjorie Greene says, of globalist leaders like Trudeau or Joe Biden. She brought 30 of her followers to Ontario to do these citizens arrest over, well, what do you think? Like COVID mask mandates and stuff like that. So by the end of the day, one of her followers had been charged with 2 counts of assaulting police. A second was facing charges of mischief and resisting arrest. Charges of mischief are my favorite charges. They're by far the funniest. But anyway, they'd been super excited in the group for this, spreading memes and chatting about it and everything. She told her followers, of which she has 60,000 just on Telegram, who amongst you are prepared and ready to keep your city safe, peaceful, and secure after you've peacefully arrested Peterborough, Ontario police? Well, her followers, some of them are being locked up. There's no sign yet that she's facing charges, but even if they do come for her, they're gonna have a hard time getting her because she has certain special powers. She claims she can become invisible by cloaking herself. I think she watched Star Trek at some point. This power is not unusual for beings of her race, she says. She is not of this earth. She is a member of a highly advanced alien race, an Arcturian, an alien being with special celestial powers. Now, I searched for Arcturian on the internet because it sounded vaguely like one of the aliens from Star Trek Voyager, and it might be based on that. But no, there's a lot of videos and books about the Arcturians and their special technology and everything. She's just one of them, Jackson.
Before, we lived in this age of technology, you might run into somebody who believed that the earth was flat like once every blue moon, but now all you gotta do is log on and there they are by the thousands, by the millions. So she's got 60,000 followers because all these people can congregate due to search engines. So that's just one of the downsides of what we live in. But my favorite part was she said during one of her live streams that she had to go. And she was like, I have to go communicate with foreign allies. And it was like, no, the burrito you ate earlier was just hitting. And you had to take a break real quick so you could step aside and do your thing real quick. But man, I mean, you try to arrest police officers, you're gonna end up on the ground with your shirt off. They're gonna sprinkle some dehumanization on you. And that's how this ends up. But what a story.